Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick here, dropping in on you. Hope everybody is having an unbelievable start to your week. It has been a very blessed couple of weeks for me, very challenging, a lot of things to confront and deal with, but overall, I am excited about where I'm headed in every aspect of my life. I'm excited about what I'm going to be doing with my clients, what I'm going to be doing for as many people as I possibly can. So I'm in a good space. And I try to stay there as often as I can. I'm human. So there are times when I'm facing some things and I'm a little overwhelmed, but those times are short lived because there's nothing to be gained in spending time in them. So that's that. Look, I'm not going to take up a whole lot of your time, but I do want to talk to you about something that is important to me. It's important to me for people to at least know what's possible. What you do with what you know is up to you, but there are so many people out there that believe certain things about how life operates, how to move in life, about money, about business, about things that they aspire to, desire to have, desire to do in ways they desire to live. And it's those beliefs that sit up and hold them into a place where they don't get to experience life at the height in which it was meant to be experienced and lived. And so my goal is to show as many people as possible what's on the other side of the veneer, what's on the other side of fear, what's on the other side of pain, what's on the other side of frustration and delay. Those are some awesome things on the other side, but most people balk at it. Most people give up. So my question today is specifically for people who aspire to be business owners, um, actively engaged and earning. And here is the question. The question is, why haven't you started that business? A long time ago, I heard Dr. Miles Monroe say that the cemetery or the graveyard is the wealthiest place on the planet. Since then, I've heard Les Brown use it a lot, but it was Dr. Miles Monroe who first said this. And what did he mean by that? He meant that if you go to the cemetery, buried in those plots are people who took book ideas, business ideas, inventions, thoughts, and partnerships, and so many other things of immense value to the grave with them. It was in their mind, but it never made it past an idea. It never made it past a desire. It never made it past something to embellish about. It only remained within because they had something that stopped them. Maybe it was fear. Maybe it was limiting beliefs. Maybe it was an aversion to the discomfort that it would take to step outside of their comfort zone and move towards the things that would produce this thing. But so many people go to the grave never having pursued the very thing they consider to be a passion. That's sad. That's sad. I don't have any mechanism that's going to make it easy. You are not going to circumvent the vicissitudes of life. I've said this so many times. The sudden changes of life, the difficulties, the frustrations, the setbacks, the delays, they are a part of life, but they're not meant to stop you. They're meant to build you. They build character. They build integrity. They build perseverance. They build resilience. They build what is necessary to not only attain things, but to sustain them. I want you to achieve. So my question again is, why haven't you started that business? Oh, I don't have enough money. I need to wait until the children grow up and move out. I need to wait until I find the right time or the right opportunity. I'm not sure of what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'll get it done. As Les Brown says often, when you are trying to sit up and determine whether you're going to do something in your life that you've never done before, the last thing you're worried about is how you're going to do it is none of your business. Why? Because if you start consulting the how, it's going to shut you down. Why? If you've never done it before, what are the chances are you know how to do it? But what you do is you sit up and say, well, how am I going to do it? How am I going to figure it out? You're trying to reason, you're trying to rationalize, you're trying to consult a part of your existence that has never experienced something to give you the answer to the experience. It's never going to work. You're going to have to explore your imagination. You're going to have to connect with people who know. You're going to have to find avenues and opportunities, but none of it starts until you do. Providence does not open its door until you make the first move. So again, why haven't you started that business? So here's what I'm doing. I've literally gotten with my marketing team. I've gotten with my creation team. And this is what we're going to do. Every week, we're going to do the 7-day business launch as a course. We have reduced the price of the course. The course was $400. We have reduced it to $97. With that $97, you're going to get my proven formula for market entry, regardless of whatever market you're entering. This is what I have used for the last 13 years online to build out programs. You're going to get my business plan blueprint. If you're starting out and you don't have a business plan, means you don't have a marketing analysis, or you don't have a marketing plan, you're setting yourself up for failure. I'm going to show you my marketing plan blueprint, my updated list of business opportunities that are turnkey. What do I mean? This is great for people who don't have a product, who don't have a service to sell, but still want to get in, get their feet wet, and own a business. So what is it? There are businesses out there that literally allow you. Hello, Cheryl. Hey, I just now saw that you out there. Hey, there are opportunities out there that you can literally start a business, promote someone else's product, sell somebody else's product, from everything from drop shipping to affiliate marketing. It's out there. I want you to have all that. So you're going to get my proven formula for market entry. You're going to get my business plan blueprint. You're going to get my updated turnkey business opportunities list. You're going to get free tools to promote your business. Here's a big one. You're going to also get personal access to the guy who handles my funnels, my front end marketing, who sets up all of that. And you're going to do a consultation with him. And if you qualify, he's going to set you up on what he calls his lean plan. The lean plan means that he's not going to charge. You're going to have to pay for the ads, but he's not going to charge you for any of his service. He's going to create the ads, and as they run. So if, in other words, if he does ads for Facebook, whatever Facebook's charges, you have to pay that. But he's going to create all that, and he's not going to collect until you collect. In other words, until you make money, he doesn't make money. It's his lean plan. I talked to him about it, and I'm going to make that accessible to you. That's put it on steroids, because all of the things that I actually did, I did organically. I didn't start running ads till much later. I didn't have the budget when I had to restart and I had to do this thing all over again. I was starting from bare minimum, and I did it organically, and I still won. But what I'm telling you is the way the marketing is set up for some of these social media platforms, you can have very conservative numbers. You can do very well. I want to offer it, but as a bonus, I'm also offering my Breaking the Curse of Procrastination masterclass. That's a $1,500 course. And I'm offering that absolutely at no additional charge, because that's going to be a major obstacle. It's getting past the procrastination. Step after step after step requires continuity. It requires momentum. It requires commitment. And if you start balking at these points, balking at, if you're risk averse, you're going to have to get past that, because you're going to have to take risks to win. There's no place that you can go where there's an opportunity to win, where there's not an opportunity to lose. You're going to have to learn how to gauge. You're going to have to learn how to assess. You're going to have to learn how to be committed. You're going to have to be willing to take some bumps and bruises along the way. I tell people all the time, I didn't win because I found out the answers. I won, and I continue to win because I refuse to quit. Quitting for me is not an option. Folding for me is not an option. What I want to do is give you insight inside the door, help you get a business started. Look, what I'm going to show you, again, this course, I created it to be affordable in the first place. So it's a $400 course. It's worth thousands, but I'm not going to sell you on the fact that it's worth thousands. I'm going to tell you it's a $400 course. I'm going to give it to you for $97. Just the first thing, my proven formula, how to get into the market, me showing you how you can literally start a business online without a dime. Now, you're going to pay me my $97. You can at least do that. But I mean, literally, there's a way that you can create landing pages without having a website. There's a way that you can create a website without having to pay a developer. Now, it's not going to be the most polished and the most functional, but you don't need it to be. You need it to be engaging. You need it to be responsive. You need it to be able to perform. What you're doing is taking somebody somewhere where you can show them more than what you initially told them about wherever you met them at. So you're going to engage them in groups, respectfully and ethically. Do not spam anybody. I have to say that because don't go in anybody's inboxes. My God, some of the horrible things. Look, I'm trying to say something. No, find them where they're at, talking about what they're talking about that matters in the sense of what you're providing. Sit up and talk about it and introduce yourself. Present it. I'm going to show you how to do all of this ethically. I'm going to show you how to do all this and start a business. Now, again, this business can be in the area of your passion. You can have something you're ready to offer now. You may be a tax expert. You may be a real estate agent. You may be somebody that teaches people how to swim. You may be an AC person. Whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is do you have something that you can offer that solves a problem? Because that's the essence of business. People talk about entrepreneurship and they make it so complicated. The psychology of it is real simple. If you understand the psychology of it, you understand how to make things work for you. What's the psychology? The psychology of business is find a problem that is not being adequately addressed, or find a problem that has small nuances on the outside or deep within it that no one is really addressing. In other words, even if it's a market that's existing, I love existing markets because I go in and I find people who aren't being satisfied in the market and they become my customer. I don't want whatever Macy's has. I want the thing that Macy's should be doing that their customers want that they're not doing. I'm going to go do that and I'm going to get those people. I'm not going to get a whole bunch of people. I don't need a whole bunch. I just need people that see what I have as the one thing they want and see that I'm the only one that provides it. Why? The moment that they realize they can only get it from me, I write the check. It's that simple. And then you can do all these other things and so many other things. But the first thing in business is identifying the problem and determining with what skill set you have, with what resources you have, with what experience you have, whatever, how you're going to solve the problem. That's the first thing. Second thing is always deliver quality service. Always be engaging. Always respond to your clients when they reach out to you. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to do everything right, but answer their concerns as quickly as possible, as responsibly as possible. And make sure the experience is fun. Make sure the experiencing is exciting. Make sure that they enjoy it, because a big part of sustaining a business isn't customer acquisition, it's customer retention. Most people lose that. They're worried about getting the clients, but they don't know how they're going to keep them. So they get them in the front door and before long, they're gone. That's a lot of work, constantly getting more people to be interested in the same thing that you're doing. It's much easier to get them in and then sell them on the next thing, the next thing, the next thing that they can see value in. That's the whole thing. There's nothing wrong with upselling somebody. It's if what you're upselling them is something they want. You get them with something that they see reasonable. And as they work with you and they see the success of working with you, they're obviously willing to invest a little more each time. And you take them up that ladder till you get them to where they're at this place. And now they're there. And what do they do on top of that? They tell their friends. And they literally become your best advertising. Why? Because they know how to tap into the emotional centers of the people they're talking about. They're close. They can do things and get places you can't get. All of this is really important. And I am going to talk about this. I'm going to show you why it works. But ultimately, you've got to do that. So you identify the problem, right? You determine how you're going to solve it. Now you've already got the business model. Now you've got to make sure that you've developed a process, a system through what you're going to deliver, the vehicle of delivery. How you're going to deliver whatever service. How's it going to be done? What are you going to do? What are you promising? Because you got to make sure you deliver on what you promise. That's a big part of it. Now, what's the hanger? What's the thing that really takes you to the next level? People sit up and say, people actually pay you $10,500. Yeah, and they're going to be paying more in a little bit because that particular package is going up. They actually pay you $10,000 to work with you for a year. Hell yeah. That's the sustaining part of what I do. I do a lot of different things. I've got 20-something websites, and I don't know how many landing pages about stuff that I move from my books to everything else. But this is how I feed my family. And they do it because I deliver. I find out what I need to do. And if I feel like I can help you, like I had someone reach out to me on LinkedIn. Hey, I want you to work with my kids. And I said, okay, I would love to talk to you about it. I would love to meet your kids. If I feel like, hey, it's a good makeup, I'm ready to run with it. And once I understand what that person's expectations are, if I know I can meet those expectations, hey, we're good, and I'm going to deliver on it. So I'm going to be worth every dime that you give me and then some, because I always over deliver. Something my great grandfather taught me coming up, son, always fill your space. What does it mean? Never take more away than you give. There's nothing wrong with charging whatever you charge as long as you leave them with more than what they paid for. It's a beautiful thing when you understand how to do it. And so my thing is, I want people to win. I want people to see the opportunity, because so many people think that entrepreneurship is this little space reserved for certain types of people. No, everybody has something in them that can serve in that. And we're going to be entering a time in which you're going to have to create spaces for yourself. Companies will be downsizing, businesses will be closing. And a lot of people will be saying, oh my God, we're doomed. No, this is the time you take off and you do you. This is a time you re-enter a zone that was always a sweet spot for people who had creative minds, and that's entrepreneurship. It's been that way for thousands of years. We moved into an industrialized society because the rich wanted to make sure they had workers to be able to service them and to scale out what they were doing. They understood the importance of having bodies. So what they did is they decided that they were going to train and create. The entire educational system in the US was created to create people who could learn. Why? So they could be trained. Why? So they could work for industrialized mechanisms, corporations. And that's where we got this thing from. Everybody, you go out, get a job, you work, you pay your bills, everybody's happy. What happens when there are no jobs? What happens when there's no opportunities? What happens when you put 20 years in and they decide they no longer need you? And your desire is to go out and find another job, but you're 45, 50, and nobody's giving you a chance because you're going to cost them more than hiring the 25-year-old. And on and on and on, all the different things. What do? You go into a space and you create that room for yourself. You go into a space and you find something that you're good at, that somebody's been paying you reasonably good for, maybe great for, that you've been doing for them, and find out how can you use it for you. It's your gift, it's your skill, it's your mastery. How do you use it for you? And there's always going to be a market for something that you've been paid that many years to do. Then there are some evergreen markets that you get to go into that are going to always be there. The medical field, transportation, anything in logistics is always going to be there. How do you create something where you fit in? Are you going to be a consultant? Are you going to be a systems specialist? Whatever it is, you have something that gives you a value and a space in the world. The problem is that most of you have been giving it away for cheap. This isn't an attack on anyone having a job. You do what you have to do. I get it. But when you know better, you do better. Now I'm telling you that there's something better out for you, and there's no limit. Facebook has something like 3 billion active users, closing in on 3 billion. I know it's over 2 billion. It hit 2 billion 10 years ago. So it's somewhere around there. Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, again, billions of users. YouTube, unbelievable, and it's built for revenue generation. There's so many different ways you can generate revenue with YouTube, from your Google AdSense account, just getting ad revenue from ads running on your videos, to selling your products on there, to promoting other people, to getting promotions and sponsors. There's so many different ways to move around here that nobody has to sit up and be begging somebody to pay them less than what they worth. It's an opportunity to step out there. Now, here's the thing. Am I telling you that it's easy? No. I worked my ass off when I had to rebuild. But see, the thing is, how driven are you? Eric Thomas talks about this a lot. You've got to want it as bad as you want to breathe. And he tells a story about it. But the essence of it is, God wants to know what it takes to be successful. That's his guru who's teaching it. And the way the guru teaches him what it takes is, he takes him out to the ocean and he dips him in the water and holds him down until he's about to pass out, and he lets him up, and he when he catches his breath, he does it again, and he does it a number of times. And then when he finally stops and the guy is trying to catch his breath, he asked him, when I was doing that, what's the one thing you wanted more than anything else? He said, to breathe. He says, when you want success as bad as you want to breathe, nothing will stop you. It's when, and that's where I was. I had to be able to eat. I had kids who needed me. I had a bunch of things that wasn't going to take the excuse. It all fell apart. I had a bunch of things that needed me to be on my A game that what didn't want to hear. I don't know where to go from here. I'm waiting on somebody to give me a chance. None of that stuff was going to work. I had to find something to do then. And no, I couldn't start at the top. I couldn't start at $1 million. I had to start at $2 and $4 and $5. But what I realized, if I can make $2, $4 and $5, I can make $10 and $20. If I can make 10 and 20, I can make 100. And if after that point, it's all math. And that's the thing, is that this market is wide open. You're not going to be in a situation where there's nothing out there that you can do that you can make it. The problem is, are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to take the risk? Are you willing to invest in yourself? Are you willing to be responsible to yourself? Because here's the difference in being an entrepreneur, and one of the biggest difference in being an entrepreneur and working for someone else. If I don't get up in the morning and come to this office, I may get a text message from a client or two, or however many I have scheduled for that day, and I'll just sit up and text them, hey, look, I'm not in the office and whatever. And eventually they'll get tired of me doing them like that, and they'll go find someone else, and eventually the business will go down. But nobody's going to call me and say you're fired. So what does that mean? That means that I've got to have a drive inside of me that wakes me up in the morning, that says you've got something to do. That's all you. You're responsible for it. You got a team waiting on you to tell them what to do today. You've got people that are waiting on you to have meetings with them. You got clients whose lives are setting a trajectory based off of what you're feeding them. You need to be ready. You need to be prepared. Wake up, get your head right, get in the game, do what you do to get your mind set. Set your state right now and let's go get it. And nobody else is going to do that. I don't need an alarm clock to wake me up in the morning. That's how disciplined I've become. I'm up. I'm getting things dressed. I'm going. I'm systematically moving. I start out with gratitude before I ever roll out of the bed. I'm in a state of gratitude. Then from there, it's prior meditation and then the divine linking with the divine source. Because as I'm connected to the divine source, there's no challenge I'm going to face that I can't overcome. The answer is already on its way. Those are the things that I do so I can come out and do what I do, but nobody's going to make me do it. So you got to have a drive inside of you. You got to want it bad enough. You got to get up. But I'm telling you, when you want it bad enough, when you go out there, at some point, you're going to realize it's rough, but I'm making it. It's hard, but I'm making it. That was a setback, but I'm making it. I'm experiencing a little delay, but I'm making it. And what'll happen is eventually you'll wake up one day and say, I never thought I could get here. I never knew I could be here. The thing is, you have to start. So again, my question from the beginning of the video is, why haven't you started that business? That link is in the description box. It's at the bottom of the description box. Click that link, $97. You're going to get everything I told you. My proven formula for market entry, regardless of whatever market you're entering. I'm going to show you a formula to get in easy, low cost to no cost, and scale out. My business plan blueprint. How you set up a business plan. For those who are interested, I will even through my business write your business plan and do your marketing analysis. But that's on a whole nother level. This isn't required. It's just a service that I offer. You're going to get a list, my updated list of turnkey businesses, things that you can start right now without having a product or a service of your own and start making money online. You're going to get free tools and promotions. I'm going to show you how to do things online that don't cost you any money. You can sit up and promote your product or what your services or whatever you're doing. I'm going to give you access to my dude who handles all my funnels, my front end marketing. He's going to evaluate you. If you qualify, he's going to be willing to set you up on what he calls his lean plan, meaning that all you're going to do is pay for the ads on whatever platform you guys agree. You're going to set up the spend, and normally within about 2 weeks, you break even. So if you can afford to move at whatever, and I mean as little as $30 a day or even less sometimes, you break even, and the campaign will start to pay for itself, and eventually it'll evolve. And sometimes you make money on the front end, but the big money is made on the back end on the upsell. But he's going to talk to you all about that. If you qualify, here's the thing: he's not going to charge you anything to do that until you actually make money. Until you make a profit, he's not going to bill you. Now, again, he's going to want to evaluate you, make sure you're serious, and a bunch of other things. And that's in his hand. Once I send you to him, y'all two will work that out. My dude is in UK. It just happened to be who landed in my lap that I liked working with. He's in the UK. Plus, I have clients in the UK, so I'm kind of used to dealing with them. But that does create sometimes some scheduling issues, because they're about 6 hours ahead. But never mind, 6, 7 hours, depending on where you're at in the US, anywhere from 5 to 6 hours to 8, 9 hours. But anyway, that's that. This is an opportunity to do something. $97, you're going to get everything I just said. Plus, you're going to get my Breaking the Curse of Procrastination Masterclass. That's a $1,500 masterclass that I'm going to also send you. Self-paced, but I'm also going to give you my email, so that as you're going through the course, if there are any questions you have, you can reach out and ask, and I want to do that. But this is for people who really are seriously, and have been for a while, contemplating starting a business, but not knowing how, not knowing what, not knowing when, and sitting around waiting on the perfect opportunity. I'm going to leave you with a quote from George Bernard Shaw, who said, "The people in the world who get on in this life are those who wake up in the morning and they go out and they find the opportunities that they need. If the opportunities do not exist, they create them. Those are the people who get on in this world, period." On that note, as I always say, I live my life on full, so that when I leave this place, I don't eat. I'm challenging you to do the same thing. You guys have an unbelievable week. You will be seeing a lot of me because there's a lot going on, but keep your head up, stay focused, and put yourself in the game. On that note, I'm out of here.